Hello and welcome once again to another episode of Dr. Said Says. That's me. I'm Dr. Cedric Wood, and I've got a lot to say about so many things. And this is the channel that's devoted to politics. I'll have another channel, in fact, it's already there, devoted to psychological things and healthy relationships. But today I'd like to talk about the war in Iran. It's unbelievable. Um, President Trump almost single handedly decided to attack a foreign country. Now, he was following in the groove laid down by Israel, I do believe. And the new leader of Iran, even said that Israel was influencing America. I think he's right. But the thing I want to talk about today is this idea of ego versus humility, humbleness. We all need to be talking about this phenomenon, this basic human tendency to think about ourselves first and to heck with everybody else. And this is exactly what the Islamic State, this regime, has been doing for, they say, 37 years. We're going to take over this country called Iran and we're going to run it the way we want to run it. And we're going to make billions in selling what we have here, and that's petroleum and oil. And the country's going to get rich. Well, that's great. But why didn't you institute a democracy so that the people could have been involved in this growth and involved in the income? It just goes back to that simple, basic thing called ego. Three little letters in this little word. It's amazing. And then other words come to mind like pridefulness. We are the best. We will show you how to behave, and if you don't, we'll kill you. Oh my gosh, is this 1826? I get so confused. Isn't this 2026? Isn't this when we should be mature and all grown up? This idea of ego and being the best and winning and having power over others. I came up with a new acronym today. I'm very excited to share this. Now, it's going to sound familiar to you because the acronym is PTSD. Well, Dr. Wood, we know that acronym. That's not new. Yes, we all know about post traumatic stress disorder, but it just fell into place. I came up with three words that characterized what regimes like Iran is doing. And I have to include Putin. And we go back further. We have to include Stalin. We have to include Mussolini. We have to include Hitler, this reaching out and killing people to gain control over the country so that I can be the only winner and leader. I mean, as soon as you feel yourself trying to do that, if we would teach young people about this, they would say, oh gosh, am I becoming a megalomaniac? Oh no. And what's really bizarre is that our own president is scores very high on the megalomaniacal score. And so I hope that it works out okay, but other presidents would not have done what he's doing. So it's terrible that these people are killed and all these facilities are being blown up. But hopefully, it will actually have a good outcome in the end. Back to my acronym. What I want to say to that regime in Iran, please stop thinking in terms of causing other people pain, trauma, suffering, and death. It just fell into my lap. Pain, trauma, suffering, and death. Why is that such a high goal for you? You say, well, that's what President Trump is doing. The reason President Trump is doing that to you is because you've been doing it to others for decades. Why wasn't your goal in 1979, 1980, 1981? Let's bring peace and prosperity into our country and the world around us. Why? I can't imagine that Islam is inherently aggressive and teaches go and do as much damage as you can to everyone. I can't believe it. I'm just not going to believe that that's what's in the core of the Quran. Let me know if it is. I'll be shocked. But this is why this is happening to you, Iran. And I want to say, I'm sorry that your leaders were killed in one big bomb blast. President Trump should be saying, I'm so sorry we killed them. Now, he would say, I don't regret doing it. I'm just saying that I'm sorry we had to do it to stop this PTSD kind of thinking going forward. I mean, look what you did with Hezbollah. Look what you did with Hamas and the Sinwar brothers. Look what you're doing with the Houthis. Fight, fight, kill, kill. I just don't understand. I mean, did all the leaders in the Islamic Republic leadership have trauma in their childhood? Were they all abused? Were they all abandoned in some way so that they can't help their neural connections in their mind of wanting to do damage to other people? And that's why President Trump had to take this extreme measure to stop you from being a government that thought so much in terms of destruction. There's many D words: pain, trauma, suffering, and destruction, and damage, and causing death. So I hope you'll remember that, and you'll teach your children and your students and your state, wherever you are, stop causing so much pain and suffering in other people. Let's look for a way to talk it through and come to a peaceful agreement, something that works for all of us if you're in some kind of conflict. So the people that were living in Palestine were really suffering there for a while. Now, Israel wasn't doing anything huge to them. They would say, oh, they're doing all this and that, and I would love to hear about it. But there was nothing in the news about what Israel was doing to cause damage. But nonetheless, they say it was funded by Iran. All these young men got these rifles and this camouflage suits and masks for their face. And they all ran out one day. We're going to do as much damage as we can. We're going to kidnap these young people that were at a music festival. We're going to shoot and kill a lot of them. Why? Why are you doing that? Go and talk to your therapist. Work through your childhood trauma if you've got those kind of aggressive impulses. That's not good to do that kind of behavior. Well, guess what? Within days, Israel was kicking your rear end back. And then what happened next? Did you like what happened next? No. One man had enough character to stand up and say, maybe we shouldn't have attacked Israel. But another person that didn't have any character said, no, we would still do that. We're glad we did that. What? You're glad 66,000 innocent men, women, and children were killed by Israel. You were glad of that. Well, no, we're not glad of that. But your behavior that you did unprovoked led to thousands of innocent men, women, and children being killed. Tragic. And that's not even to mention the billions of dollars worth of buildings that were destroyed. I mean, come on, guys. Bad idea. Just put that idea away and come to the negotiation table if you have a grievance with Israel. Don't attack them. But Iran wanted us to do it. They paid us a lot of money to train and to build tunnels, dig tunnels so that we could run. That was not good. That was not right by any religious approach to life, to plan on going and doing so much damage and causing so many deaths and suffering. You took a lot of people hostage that just caused so much suffering. Come on, we've all got to get together. This is what I wanted to say. Why couldn't Hamas, 1 month, 2 months, oh, okay, 3 months, have said, wow, this is causing a lot of death and damage. Let's wave the white flag. Sorry. Look, here's our guns. We're putting our guns down. So sorry. We shouldn't have done that. Our big bad. And would you please stop bombing us? I'd like to think that Israel would say, well, okay. But I don't know, because they really were retreating, and yet Israel kept bombing and killing after the ceasefire. It's just unbelievable. And so Israel's not totally innocent. And so now we have a whole regime that pushed PTSD for decades. And now America, Big Brother, is walking over and say, stop doing that. And people are being killed, and buildings are being blown up. And what do you call it? The ammunition, rockets and things are being blown up. Why isn't Iran waving the white flag and saying, fine, okay, we won't push aggression anymore. We're sorry for doing that for so long, okay? So Trump says we're negotiating. The war will come to an end soon, and we'll stop this. And then the person over in Iran answers back, no, we are going to fight and defend our country. Come on, why is it so hard? It's not a big blow to your ego and your pridefulness to say, okay, we shouldn't have been doing that. We wanted to empower ourselves with a nuclear bomb, but I guess that's not going to work out. We'd rather focus on our citizens. We want to keep them safe. And so we'll stop building and sending off rockets. We'll stop. Why can't they do that? Why? And they did say, well, if y'all will promise never to send over any more bombs to us, then we'll promise to stop. No, that's pridefulness again. What you should say is, we will stop doing what we're doing, and if you'll stop bombing us, then we trust you that you will continue to not bomb us as long as we continue being more peace-oriented and focusing on our citizens, helping them to self-actualize and become the happiest, healthiest person and people they can be. We promise we'll do that. And then as long as we're doing that, will you promise not to bomb us? That's a reasonable request. That makes sense. I'd like to think President Trump would say, yes, if you'll promise that, we'll stop bombing you. But it doesn't go the way around. We are the ones that hold the best cards. Okay, does that make sense? Thank you for tuning in. Let's all pray and hope for the best in this situation, that the war will stop very soon. Thank you. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Thank you. I'm Dr. Cedric Wood. I will see you next time.